Okay. So I know I've been gone for a few days. I've been sick, okay? Simply put, I've had a really shitty cold, and Aubrey's currently got strep throat. So that's fun. You might not be able to tell, but I'm actually still sick. I'm still sick right now. I'm just kind of putting on a brave face. Anyway, I am going to be debating a 91-year-old gentleman named Keith Walker. Goes by Keith. He doesn't like to be called Mr. Walker. And we're going to be discussing with him tonight my theory, because I'm, pretty much the only one shouting it from the rooftops, unfortunately. I wish there were more people saying this, but my theory, really a fact, but theory, that redheads are their own race. We're not Caucasian. We're not white. A lot of you people probably think that I'm joking when I say that. I'm not. And I've got a lot of facts, to back up my claims. I have a lot of evidence that supports my claims, and I've been actually working on getting everything together in a very clear and concise manner. I'm writing something that I've come up with. I'm calling it red threads, like redheads, but threads throughout history and race. And I'm actually getting it all together, consolidated. We are going to be... Hi, Black Hawk. Okay, thank you. And so it's called Red Threads, Redefining Race Beyond Whiteness. What is race? I've got this all typed out. I cite my sources that you can actually click, and you can actually, it'll take you to the different websites and all that stuff. How our race is formed, people whose ancestors, blah, 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 blah. Like, I go through all of that. Because I say, before we get into the weeds of why I believe that redheads, a.k.a. gingers, are a separate race from white Caucasians, I believe it's important that we define what a race even is. And then I define it as we define it. And then I go into how our race is formed. And I've got it all here. And I'm typing this all out. I'm citing my sources. I'm learning how to use Google Docs. And I'm really getting it all together here. So there will be no more argument to be made. I'm going to make it so I can just give you the link, or put it on like a simple.com, simple website where you can click it and go. And you can read that and then get back to me. You're not going to argue with me after you read this, because it's simply true. Okay, but tonight we're going to be arguing. We're going to test my theory. Or my debate, my chops when it comes to debating. I've debated I've debated Gavin McInnes, I've debated Bering, I've debated against all kinds of people, okay, all kinds of people, the Alex Joneses of the world. Keith Walker is a 91-year-old gentleman, and I'm not trying to be ageist, I'm just saying he's dug in, he's got his opinions, he feels very strongly about them. I'm going to try to be polite. I'm not going to yell at him, okay? I don't want to, upset. I don't want to hurt anyone or upset anyone. I'm going to try to be calm, and I'm going to try to just be very, I'm going to work on explaining where I'm coming from, why I feel the way I do, and letting him talk, letting him respond. I'm going to give him the floor when it's time for him to talk. I'm not going to talk over him or yell at him or shout over him. That might be more entertaining to some people, but I'm not here to berate a gentleman. He is from England. He was born in England, I'm pretty sure. And so he's an Englishman. And so he's a 91-year-old white man from England, which I believe, of course, is the homeland. My people, the gingers, are the indigenous people of Great Britain, of the UK and Ireland, that whole northwestern European region of the Celtic nations, what we call the modern day Celtic nations, the Isle of Man, Wales, Scotland, England, Ireland, that whole area, okay, the Isle of all that shit. So I'm gonna be talking to him today about
Tiffany
this. And yeah,
Donald Trump.
I'm
really rich. Donald Trump. I'm really rich. Donald.
Ranga 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 ranga
Shut the fuck up!
ranga ranga ranga
I
ranga
don't want to hear this tonight.
ranga ranga ranga
We're not doing this tonight. We are not.
ranga 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 ran.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Why did that take so long to stop? Can we not do that again tonight, please? I need the floor tonight, okay? I need you to save your money and my patience. And shut up tonight. No bot abuse. Okay? I'm going to grab some tissues because, again, I'm still sick. And then I'm going to sit down and we're going to have Keith. We're going to bring him on camera and we are going to talk to him. Okay? Before we talk to him, before we debate, I'm going to open up 2 packages, 2 little presents here. I got one from a person, speaking of the Celtic nations of Ireland. I got a letter in the mail from someone from Ireland who sent, and by the way, if you want to send me a letter or anything, I'm going to put my P.O. box on the screen. This is my P.O. box. If you want to send me a letter. Okay, thank you for copy. Okay, yes, Blackhawk. I missed you. Yesterday was my birthday. Can I get a happy birthday, Happy birthday, Blackhawk. Happy birthday to you. I promise to be on my best behavior tonight. Feel well soon. Thank you. I actually appreciate that comment. I wish you didn't call yourself Blackhawk, but that's nice. This is my P.O. box. If you ever want to send me a letter, this is my P.O. box, okay? It's P.O. Box 784, Derby, Kansas 67037. It's written just like this. That's all you got to put on your mail. You put it in the mailbox, and it'll be sent directly to me. I'll get it. I'll get a notification in my email, and I will open it on stream. So don't send me some fucking dildos or drugs or some psycho shit, okay? I'm not fucking iDubbbz. So I'm going to grab some tissues. We're going to sit down. I'm going to open this letter, and then I'm going to open this from, let me not dox anyone by accident. And this is from Turbo and Satirist. And the letter is from someone in Ireland, in the city of Port Louis. Portlaoise, which is in Ireland. And there's a little Irish stamp. Give me one second. Let me get a tissue. Okay. I thought, it'd be good to open up the letter from Ireland today. Because I'm going to be talking about Ireland and Scotland and Redheads and all that. And England, where he's from. So let's open the letter real quick first. And read that. Because I really want to know what this letter says. Okay, it's from Ireland. It says here, History of CopperCab, hand-drawn. This is really, really sweet. Wow. History of CopperCab, hand-drawn. Gingers have souls, dear potheads. St. Patrick's Day is racist. Venice sucks. And all the strams. 1, 4, 5, yeah. 14 years of CopperCab. Hello, I'm reading this along with all of you, by the way. Because they said on the letter, right here, it says, please read on stream. Looks like it's written by a girl. I don't want to insult anyone. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. So I'm looking at the screen to read the letter. So I'm reading it with you. Hello, CopperCab. Through all the years of videos and shit, many people are impressed. From gingers who have souls to riding scary Ferris wheel in England. To many more. Countless people appreciate the entertainment and so on. Your commitment to your supporters is undeniably fucking boundless. Not like that idiot nobody remembers after he quit after only gaining 7 subs. Huh? I don't even know what you're talking about. Do you remember him? Neither does anyone else. Did Gordon Ramsay give up after one mistake? No. Did Biggie Smalls? No. How about Tina Turner? Fuck no. Neither did you, and it's much appreciated. Please enjoy the inside too. Hoping that it's not a anthrax or something that's gonna pop out. I don't know what's about to happen. I don't. So it's a very nice letter so far. Okay. This is okay. This is the inside of the letter. This is very sweet so far. Okay, can we? I'm trying to read the letter right now. Do you fucking mind? Bro, can you give me a second, please? I'm trying to get... We're going to get to the debate.
Titanium Taxi is angry with me calling unoriginal. Was never trying to steal your style, bro, or be unoriginal as
no one cares about you or Titanium!
Cocoa
Shut
butter
up!
On our mistress wife's feet cause
Enough
they
with
are
the
in
fucking...
need ASAP.
My
Unlike
wife's
this giant
feet
red
is...
sim.
Bro, don't talk about my... Keep my wife's feet out of your mouth. Okay, where were we? Sorry about that, y'all. We're going to get to the debate in just 1 second. I'm just opening this up real quick and reading the letter before we start. Hold your horses, folks. To CopperCab, I hope you enjoyed that art on the outside. I hope you enjoyed that art on the outside. I did, by the way. Thank you that's very, very cool. That's really, really cool, actually. I'd be surprised if you didn't. As you are aware, YouTube is a very widely used platform for fan and creators alike. But nobody does it quite like you. That's very sweet. You are special. And thus, we must go to the point of your specialty. There's a reason why Stockholm is the capital of Sweden. Just like there's a reason why in Walmart, the kitchen appliance section is half empty. As your specialty... Are you fucking kidding me right now? My specialty is fucking toasters? Hold on. Hold on. Let me take my headset off. Am I not reading this right? Hold on one second. As your specialty is not only fucking toast. Wait, hold on. Stockholm is as your specialty is not only fucking toasters, but trafficking them for pornography too. Okay. That's not true. Not to mention trading lewd images and videos of them. You are a very naughty boy. I am not a naughty boy. This is extremely perverted of you. What the fuck is... I thought this letter was so wholesome. Why is this turning... This is so fucked up now. I thought... You know, Ireland, you should be ashamed. You're gonna... Okay. This is extremely perverted of you. You're gonna meet every toaster you violated and their lawyers very fucking soon. From MD Links, Satirist, Turbo, Uranium Uber, Ginger Ale is Racist, Stevie Hernandez, whoever the fuck that is, Based GigaChat, Political Jester, G.E. Trump, and the rest of us. And what the fuck is over here? What is this? Is that are those vagina lips sewn up? I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Is that a football? Like an awkward, like Hey Arnold style? I don't know what this even is. This letter fucking sucks. Fuck that fucking letter. And fuck whoever sent that letter. Go fuck yourself. I'd be surprised if you didn't like it. Yeah, I don't like it, bitch. Piece of shit scumbag from fucking Ireland. Where are you from? What's your fucking address? You know I'm coming to Scotland in early 2025. I'll see you. I'll see you. Got my fucking eye twitching over here like a fucking psycho. Like I'm fucking Norman Bates. Okay, where are we at here? Sumzone Cat. Donated 3. Keith Walker about to smack that moob down like Dr. Bob always did. However, I am looking forward to watching this soup sandwich. What are you talking about? A soup sandwich? You think Keith Walker's gonna smack my moob down? You think I'm gonna have like my moob out and Keith Walker's gonna walk up and just go, get that fucking moob down. Get that fucking moob down. Get that. No, Keith Walker isn't smacking my moob down. Listen, I'm not gonna be mean. I'm gonna be very nice to Keith. He is a 91-year-old man, and I don't want to give him, any health problems by yelling at him. We're gonna keep it civil. Okay, I don't need to yell to get my point across. I will win this debate. Okay, before we start the stream, before we talk to Keith, the 91-year-old gentleman, I want to open this last package here. It's one very simple package from Turbo and Satirist. If I can get it open, damn. Damn! I'm a fucking wet. I'm gonna get pissed off. Why do I smell something from this container? Did you fucking put cyanide in this, Satirist? Yo, what the fuck is this? Okay, that's cool as fuck. Are you kidding me right now? That's so cool. What the fuck, dude? That is so cool. Thank you, guys. That
Best
is
letter
actually
ever
really
and
cool.
better than the sheep that you are voting for Joe Biden.
Satyrus, my Spotify
now
song.
get on
rotation.
with the gifts and stop humping toasters, you orang toast bumper. Orang toast bumper foam cum
Thank
dumper.
you.
Orang toast bumper foam
Okay,
cum
you're
dumper.
ruining the fucking
Orang
moment.
toast bumper foam cum dumper.
I'm a fanboy.
Ginger ale, can you fuck off? That was not the best letter ever. That was not the best letter ever. Shut up. Don't let the haters and class clowns get you down. You tell them, Copper. Lots of love from Black Cock. Okay, thank you for the love, Black Cock. You know, I'm starting to love Black Cock. Okay? Wait, no, that sounds wrong. Not wrong, but that sounds not like I mean it to. I'm too sick to do this, okay? Shut up, Ginger Ale. No bot abuse tonight, please. What did I just say? I know that there's a delay. This should be the last bot abuse for the night. When I'm talking to the 91-year-old gentleman, I can't have robot abuse, okay?
Dear
I need to be
Yellow
able
City
to...
Taxi, apology accepted.
I need to be
All
able to
clowns
listen.
need to band together against the Red Tyrant.
Dude.
Mistress Aubrey's gorgeous body, feet and red hair band us together for a common simp slave cause. CopperCab needs to be taught a
what
lesson.
now? A common simp
You
slave
know.
cause? Titanium, shut the fuck up, you weirdo. No more bot abuse from Titanium. You're probably the same person as Yellow Taxi. Shut up. This is fucking awesome. It's got my album artwork that Aubrey did. Aubrey designed that art, that moon. She drew that with pencil. That's so fucking cool. That is like legitimately so cool. It's like a plaque. Thank you. I'm gonna put that on my wall.
Donald Trump. I'm really rich. Donald Trump. I'm really rich. Donald.
White foam from the little red rocket, 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 white foam from the little.
Damn, dude, y'all are so obnoxious. Janet, shut up. I don't want your foam anywhere in me, okay? I'm not gonna suck on your foam. I'm too sick for this shit. Looks like there's something else in here, too. Hold on. If this squirts me, I'm gonna be pissed off. Is that it? Okay, there's one more thing here. I'm scared. If this squirts me, Satyrus, I'm gonna be pissed off. Is this a stand for it? Okay, cool. That's fucking... Okay, so that's not bad. Why'd you tell me I needed to watch out, like, not get wet? What's wrong with you, Satyrus? Black up? What do you mean? Light it up? Is it light up? Does it light up? I don't see any light. There's no lighting on here. There's nothing to light it up. It's just glass. I mean, it's really cool though. I don't see anywhere to light it up. Yeah, I have no idea how to light it up. I don't see any buttons for it or light it up, you dick. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about lighting it up. How do I... It's literally glass. It's glass. What are you fucking talking about? It's literally glass or plastic or something. It doesn't light up, you fucking idiot. It's fucking awesome, though. It's supposed to blow on it?
I'm a fanboy.
Alright, let's get this fucking debate started. I gotta know.
Damn right, Titanium, we need to moisten these little piggies with that cocoa butter for out mistress, as she's the best, unlike this
Bro,
spitting
okay, are
baboon
we good
looking
now?
like he's constipated, though I just wish he would add me in that book, maybe a
It
comb,
doesn't light up,
foam,
Giga Chad.
ranch, sauce.
I'm a fan.
Alright, everyone has to shut up now. Everyone has to shut up now. Everyone has to shut the fuck up now, okay? I'm starting my thing here with Keith. Start the stage. The great debate. Shut up. Okay, Keith, get in the call. Okay, guys, I need y'all to stop interrupting right now, okay? I'm doing a serious debate, so shut up, please. Matter of fact, you know what? Hold on. We're going to go into Copper's condo. We're going to bring him up to the Copper's condo. Hold on. Okay, Keith, I need you to... Okay, Keith, I need you to unmute. Do you know how to do that, Keith? Cameron, help your father out, please. For fuck's sake. Oh my days. Really, dude? People are so fucking annoying.
Private.
Hey, guys.
Up.
Everyone shut up. I'm on stream. Keith, where's Keith at?
Yeah. He's in here.
Cameron, are you here? Bro, people
The
are
camera's
already
standing right
annoying
next to me.
Okay, Keith, I'm gonna debate you, but I need to have you in a private call so that I don't have morons interrupting us.
Yeah,
on the
drag him
microphone.
out.
Okay, I'm gonna drag him up now to the private call. Okay. All right, Copper's condo. I'll take you up there too, Cameron, if you need to. Where's him? Okay. Okay, Keith. Hey there. Okay. Okay, you there? I can't hear you. You need to unmute. Tell your son to unmute you. You're muted. Guys, if I'm coughing tonight, by the way, I'm not trying to be annoying. I legitimately am coming off a cold, so bear with me. It's annoying me more than it will probably be annoying you. This is actually hurting my chest, so I'm trying to not cough. Let me get a cough drop, actually, while they unmute. Keith, tell your son, you have to have him unmute you on your end. I can't unmute you in here. I'm grabbing a cough drop. Oh, wait, I got one right here. Mucinex. This stream is not sponsored by Mucinex. Sore throat cough drops. Berry flavored. You can't unmute him? I can't unmute him. Alright, we'll go to a different call. Let's go to the duo chat. Yeah, duo chat. Drop down to the duo chat. It's the public voice chat. Hold on. Okay. This should be easier. Now, this should be easier. Here we go. Hello? Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
Good.
Okay, Giga Chad, you can't unmute if you're going to be in here, though, okay? No one can be. Please. Seriously. Okay. Okay, hi, Keith. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and joining all of us. We've got about 130, 140 people watching right now live. I am, of course, you know, I'm CopperCab. I'm an internet creator. You know, I make videos and I do streams and stuff like that. You probably heard of me through your son. And I know I've talked to you a couple times, but I just want to kind of formally introduce you to everyone. Do you want to say your name and kind of where you're from? Any kind of background information about you? Just kind of keep it short and simple if you want to introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Keith Walker. I live in Taupo, in New Zealand. I was born in the UK, and I've been in New Zealand for just over 60 years.
You've been in New Zealand for over 60 years? What took you to New Zealand? What took you away from England?
I wanted to get a bit of lifestyle, and I found it. This place is like paradise to me. I love it.
Got you. Well, I'm happy that you're having a good time. I'm happy that you've had a good life so far, and that you continue to have
Keith
a good one.
is stinky. Keith
if you
likes
hear me
poopy.
kind of
Keith is a dum-dum loser face.
kind of stuttery
Keith
at all,
eats
it's because I'm
rotten
being
apples.
interrupted right now
Keith
by a
likes to lick
moron
butts.
abusing
Keith
a
wears
bot
Crocs.
to talk over me
Keith
on
eats
stream.
pineapples
You can't
on
hear
pizza.
it, fortunately for
Keith
you.
has a tiny pee-pee. Gingers
I'm not
don't have
crazy. I'm not
souls.
hearing voices. I'm not schizophrenic, but I've got a robot, so sometimes it might seem like I'm responding to someone else who's not in the room. But I'm not insane. I'm just responding to an idiot who's using the name CopperCab. Don't use my fucking name to comment over me when I'm trying to talk to Keith. Sorry about that, Keith. Okay. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Cameron Walker's in the chat right now, in the chat room, saying don't use the bot. He's telling people to stop. Okay. Because it talks over us and they can't hear what we're saying. So, Keith, last night we were in a private call, in Discord, and I'm about to be interrupted again. I just see it popped up on my screen here. So, this is going great so far. Sorry about this, Keith. Hopefully they'll tire themselves out, the morons trying to ruin tonight's, proper
More yerking
conversation.
and jerking. Ooh.
Thank you so
feel
much,
that pump,
Yellow
ooh.
Taxi,
Ooh.
for interrupting
Toasted to the
Keith and
limit,
I
oh,
when I'm
baby,
trying to
riding in
have
a
a
big
nice,
range,
steady
getting toaster
conversation
job in the backseat
with
and
the
sneef.
gentleman Keith.
Sneef. Sneef.
I'm trying to not call you
Sneef.
Mr. Walker. You
Sneef.
told me you didn't like that,
Sneef.
so I'm trying to be
Sneef.
respectful. Okay, so Keith, let's get to the meat and potatoes, okay? Let's get the Marmite, okay? And let's spread the Marmite on the bread here, okay? What are we doing? We're not going to waste our time. I believe that ginger people are their own race. In short, I believe that a long time ago, pre-Roman Britain, before the Romans started their conquest and, marched north into, Germany, modern-day Germany, and those kinds of, the Celtic tribes of that region, northwestern Europe, and eventually, of course, Caledonia, Scotland, and all the way up there. Before they did all that, I believe that ancient Britain, Ireland, Scotland, England, even Germany was comprised of almost entirely red-headed people. There's many ancient, writings from people like the philosopher Tacitus, other people as well. There are other scholars and historians at the time that all consistently describe the Picts, the ancient Scottish people, the Picts, the indigenous people of Scotland, and the Northern Highlands up there in the Outer Hebrides and all that area. The ancient people were all described as having tall statures, red hair, blue eyes, and they were very pale, like paler than the olive tone, kind of the white Italian. There's of course intermixing. That's what I believe. And it's not just that lends credence to my theory. I've got much more kind of scientific genetic arguments as well. How you define what a race is, how we define races, how do races, how are they formed? Like how does, the Mongoloid versus the Caucasoid, the different Asians versus white versus black, sub-Saharan African, how they form. So anyway, I'll let you talk because I want to give you the floor. I don't want to
I
ramble.
am so sorry the haters and
we're
trolls are
being interrupted
interrupting
again,
the
so that's
discussion.
great.
Please don't listen to them. Much
Sorry,
love to you,
Keith, just give me one
CopperCab,
sec.
and
Got a
much love to
moron.
you, Keith. Love, Black Cock. Keith,
obnoxious.
are you
This is
single?
what I deal with every
Do you
night,
want to
Keith.
go on a date
Every
sometime?
night.
Please
So,
let
Keith,
me know.
I try to talk and teach classes to people, and I've got idiots that constantly berate me and argue with me with a bot. They use a little robot voice, like Stephen Hawking. It starts talking over me, and it's really obnoxious. It's a woman voice, which, by the way, I'm not a sexist. I'm a feminine. I don't have a problem with it being a woman. I prefer it being a woman. But anyway, so Keith, how do you feel about my stance on the ginger thing?
Well, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting idea, but I think you are confusing race with communities.
Mm-hmm.
We are all Caucasians, Caucasoids. Okay. Nobody knows exactly where the Picts arrived from or where they originated, because there are no records. You're going back 7,000 or 8,000 years. But they did move over to Northern Europe from wherever they were. And also, they moved into Scotland. Quite a lot of them had red hair because in their community, and you going back so far when there were not very many people in the world anyway, communities were a lot more scattered. So there will be sort of more inbreeding, if you like. And red hair is just one gene in a chromosome. And all right, a lot of the Picts carried that gene from one another to one another. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But they're not a separate race.
Okay. They're not a separate race. And by the way, yes, I agree with you that there isn't really much written about the Picts, unfortunately. All that's lost to history. All we have is like the standing stones, some of the kind of carvings that, the rock carvings, from the Picts and things like that. We have like kind of almost like hieroglyphic writings from them. And we're getting interrupted by Chad now. Thank you, Chad, for interrupting, who says, "Go Keith! Put this ginger boy in his place! Type a KKK in the chat for Keith, Keith, Keith." Okay, how lovely, yes. Don't put KKK in the chat for Keith, okay? That's literally a racist organization. You know what you're doing, Chad. I'm glad Keith finds it funny. I don't! Anyway, fuck off, Chad. Sorry, pardon my vulgar language. Chad, go fuck yourself, Chad. Okay, Keith, the right honorable gentleman, Keith. Thank you for that. Actually, that's everything you said, I didn't really have much to argue with there. I do agree, there's not much written, that we're going very far back, talking about the Pictish people. I believe that the Pictish people, maybe there were people before the Pictish, I don't know. Like you said, we don't really know. I mean, but that can apply to any nation, any body of land in the world. I mean, we all started, and of course, the cradle of civilization, Africa, we all started in Africa, scientists say now, and we spread out from there. And, and I'm being interrupted again when I'm trying to arrive to a point, which actually complements your own points, but also takes us to a different... Okay,
Lol,
Zach,
Copper just got owned by Keith.
okay.
Gingers are not a race whiter than white people. Gingers have no souls. Gingers have no souls. Gingers have no souls. Gingers have no souls. Gingers have no souls.
Shut up, Zach! Ginger! Okay.
Also, who cares what TFA British person thinks about anything?
Black Hawk, please.
We haven't had to care what they have to think since 1776.
CAWK.
I love America.
Hawk,
I love
and they're
guns.
being
I love
obnoxious.
freedom.
Okay.
I hate taxes.
Thank you.
WTF
Yes.
as a kilometer? Does Keith have...
Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay, we're all good now. Anyway, as I was saying, yes. So that you go far back enough, you're gonna kind of start losing traces of humanity the further you go back. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, but there's many descriptions. There is many historical written descriptions from other parties, who were writing things. The Pictish. It's the same thing. We don't have a lot written about the Druids. We've lost a lot of information about the Druidic, the Druidic people, the Scotland and the Celtic Druids, because they didn't write things down. They were more of a verbal society people. I guess people have gathered. But many have written that the Picts were all described as having red hair, consistently as having red hair. I mean, this seems like an ethnicity. When you look at it all like I do, it goes immediately into the realm of an ethnic group. The Celtic people would probably be called an ethnic group. Barring any kind of physical descriptions, it's still an ethnic group. It doesn't have to be a race. It's an ethnicity. It's an ethnic group, a culture, an identity. But where it comes into the whole redhead, the race thing, is that there's many written descriptions from Tacitus, from, I can't think of his name right now, something
I'm gonna
Uh,
us.
come.
Okay, getting interrupted again. Morons
Keith, tell him to get himself a warm glass of white sneef cum foam as he's too cranky.
Sorry,
K,
give me 1 second.
K, K, K,
Waiting these
K,
idiots out.
K, K, K,
Waiting the idiots
K,
out.
K,
Just waiting them out.
K,
This is what we
K,
have to do.
K, K,
We work
K,
with what we have.
K.
Okay, so Keith, let me put you back on the screen here. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah, there's many historical accounts, okay, of Celtic people. Many, actually, like a lot, describing them as having red hair, like across the board. Tacitus famously wrote, let me read this. I want to read this directly from Tacitus himself. He says here, I want to read it exactly what he wrote. And this is his writing from his book. He is regarded as the greatest Roman historian by modern scholars. And he has an entire book about when they expanded with him in the Roman army. He went with the Roman army. They expanded north. And this is talking about his accounts. You know, we're talking firsthand accounts of the German people, the Celtic tribes of modern day Germany. Hold on one second. Okay. So here we go. This is from, and I'll put it on the screen for a moment too, so people. Okay, getting interrupted.
You,
again.
Cooper are
Zach,
a dirty Ronga.
shut up!
Ronga,
Have some-
Ronga.
Sorry, Keith, I don't mean to yell in your ear.
Ronga.
Have some
Ronga,
respect,
Ronga,
please,
Ronga.
people.
Ronga.
Okay,
Ronga.
if you don't
Ronga,
respect me,
Ronga,
at least
Ronga,
respect Keith.
Ronga.
Okay?
Ronga.
Someone you're senior and quite literally you're fucking superior. Shut up, people. Keith is superior to you, intellectually. Finally, I have someone that I can talk to and have a fucking conversation with instead of hearing Ranga, 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 Ranga over and over, spammed. Sorry, Keith. So Tacitus says, for my own part, I agree with those who think that the tribes of Germany are free from all taint of intermarriages with foreign nations, and that they appear as a distinct, unmixed race like none but themselves. Hence, too, the same physical peculiarities throughout so vast a population. All have fierce blue eyes, red hair, huge frames. And then he starts to be a little disrespectful. Fit only for a sudden exertion, they are less able to bear laborious work. Heat and thirst they cannot in the least endure. To cold and hunger their climate and their soil inure them. He starts to get a little shitty at the end there, a little shady, talking about we can't, we're not built for a lot of work, in the farm. But anyway, the point stands is that he's talking about those Celtic people, and then he goes on to talk about Caledonia. And he says the people of Caledonia are related to those of Germany. He's like, there's clearly a direct correlation between the people of Germany and now the people that we're encountering in Caledonia, which of course you know, Alba, Caledonia, Scotland, and that they all have red hair. And they all have blue, literally red hair, blue eyes, pale, pasty skin, freckles, a different complexion of skin tone. I mean, this is we're talking about genetics spread out across a vast population of people, consistently described to the point where it's become a stereotype with St. Patrick's Day costumes. Every, freaking leprechaun costume has to have red hair. I mean, it's literally a stereotype. We are literally stereotyped. If Americans, anyone else in the world outside of, England, Scotland, they think of an Irish person or a Scotsman, they're going to think of a redhead. It's that embedded and ingrained into the culture. We're talking about a total cultural identity here that's lost. We've been whitewashed. Again, I'm being interrupted again by Zach. Sorry, Keith. I've got morons infecting the stream like COVID. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, Keith. So, yeah. So my point is that, we have tons of historical handwritten. We have accounts of people encountering these people. We do have historical accounts of people encountering the Celtic tribes across all of Germany. Caledonia, Scotland, England, southern, that area. So it's my opinion that the Roman invasion kind of marched north and they, their conquest, and they just kept going. And then that's when they, the Hadrian's Wall and, between Scotland and England and all that, they had to build that to keep the invaders, the Highlanders out, because these barbaric tribes were taking them out. And then you get into the whole Boudica thing, the warrior queen, the Iceni tribes, you get into the Celtic queen, her who was always described, she's literally a redhead, described by Tacitus and other scholars who also took written accounts of Boudica, the Celtic queen. They wrote her as having long to her shoulder, past her shoulders, long fiery red hair. fierce, and she had like a really strong power, like a voice, because they had warrior queens. The Celtic people weren't really sexist. They had many. They didn't have any problems with women taking kind of the lead in certain situations. They were pretty liberal for their day. You know what I mean? The Celtic people in that region, they tolerated that, which I'm very proud of. They didn't let sex hold them back. But anyway, that's all a whole different thing. I'm talking about race here. So I want to ask you, let me just describe, how would you define a race? And then I'm going to read you how it's defined. Keith, you with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I was waiting for you to hear your description.
Okay, well... Okay.
Your definition.
Sure. So Merriam-Webster defines race as anyone, and I'll put it on the screen here as well. I'm going to try to get it so we can... I want to try to get it on here. Okay, so Sorry, I'm trying to... One second. I'm having trouble trying to get it on here. For fuck's sake.
Well, Merriam-Webster is a good quality American dictionary. I use the Oxford English Dictionary.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah, I love
Merriam-Webster.
Okay, are we good? We good here? Okay. So Merriam-Webster defines race as
something came up.
Any one of the groups. Can you hear me?
Tiffany.
Yeah.
Okay. Donald Trump. I'm really rich. Donald Trump. I'm really rich.
I got
Donald.
A lot of idiots that watch.
America #1. Britain stinks. Eagles screech.
No, America
Boy,
is
mate,
not number
you
one,
got a
and Britain does
license for
not
those
stink,
opinions,
moron.
You got a license for that TV?
Shut up.
You got a broadcaster's license for this stream?
Yeah, I got
Have
a
you
license
drank some
for this.
dirty leaf water today?
Yes, I have a
Black fruit beer
license for
#1.
the stream. Thank you. Okay, a license. You got a license for that stream? Like, what a fucking idiot. Yeah, of course I do. Okay. So Merriam-Webster defines race as any one of the groups that humans are often divided into based on physical traits regarded as common among people of shared ancestry. That's Merriam-Webster on race. And then alternatively, you can defer to Wikipedia, which is obviously not a super credible source as anyone can edit it, but the page for race defines race simply as a categorization of humans based on shared physical or social qualities into groups generally viewed as distinct within a given society. So that, coupled with all the different, accounts of the Celtic, Scotland, England, these ancient people being described, the Picts being described as red-headed, having a language, having the Gaelic, the languages, the Celtic languages, that tree, and then you've got all the these paintings, descriptions, they're all red-headed. I mean, you see the world's highest percentage of redheads per capita today is in Scotland and Ireland specifically. And if you look at the Roman Empire at its height, the very maximum height of its the height of its power. It is literally it's spread out across all of Europe, but it stops very clearly. There's a line there. You can look at maps of the Roman Empire at its height, world map.
Yeah.
Scotland and Ireland are untouched. And then you look at modern day, the highest percentage of redheads in the world. There's a map showing like where the darker areas are where the highest percentages are, and it gets lighter and lighter until it goes gray or white. It's like literally Scotland and Ireland, the two places where the Roman invasion ceased. That is where it's the only spots on the whole. And I've got a moron interrupting again, right as I'm delivering a very solid point. But I have to deal with, Keith. It's like I'm dealing with a handicap.
Hey, white boy, can you stop talking, please? I'm
Okay,
in the other room
Janet,
plowing on your
shut up.
wife, and the yelling
Oh,
about the
Zach.
red-haired
and Janet.
weirdos
Okay,
is really
great.
distracting.
Thank you.
Thank you, and remember to lose some weight. Take the L.
All right, that's great. Thank you so much. And thank you, Janet.
Donald
now.
Trump.
Thank you, Janet.
I'm really rich.
I'm feeling
Donald
like sniffing
Trump.
up your
I'm
orange
really
peel.
rich.
Okay, that's
Donald-
great. Thank you. you.
I'm
I
feeling
love
like
to be
sniffing up your
sexually
orange head
harassed
shaft while
when
you
I'm
debate
trying to
rubbing
have
my
an
man-made
actual
vagina and
debate
attached
with
Peter while I
someone
douse
who
your
has
booty
a
hole with
brain.
oil and
Oh
lube
my
so we
day.
can play slip
You
and
probably
slope
think I'm
like on a
psychotic,
mountain
Keith, and I
skiing,
don't
but
blame
only
you
hitting
because
your
I'm yelling.
cheeks him.
Okay, excuse me. People, please shut up. Titanium. Okay, bro. Yeah, I'm
Dear
gonna let
Copper,
Keith talk.
when does Keith get to talk?
When does Keith get to
Can you
talk?
please
Okay.
ask Keith,
All
since
right,
I don't
then I'll
have a
just go
grandpa
fuck. Okay.
anymore, if I can adopt him as my grandpa?
No, you
I'd
cannot
really like
adopt
to have
him
a
as
bigger
your
grandpa.
grandpa.
Keith, I can ask questions
Sorry,
to.
Keith.
Thanks.
What'd you say, Keith?
Okay.
Yeah, Keith. Yeah, they want to know when you get to talk because I'm talking too much. I do move a little fast. I apologize.
Yeah, you do have a bad case of logorrhea, don't you?
Logorrhea? What the fuck is
Look it up in
logorrhea,
the
Keith?
dictionary. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
it.
it. Oh yeah, okay. I won't worry about being
You
called
have
logorrhea.
you have a very persuasive argument. I can see where you're coming from.
Thank you.
Although I do disagree. We're all Caucasians, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, the Celts and the Picts. We don't know where they originated from because there are no records going back that far. But even so, 10,000 years ago, there was nobody living on the British Isles anyway. Nobody at all. And the start of civilization was not in Africa. Certainly, Homo sapiens, which is us, originated in the Rift Valley in Africa and moved north. And there were various different forms of humans. There was the Neanderthals, the Denisovans, and quite a lot of other different, a lot of which interbred. Interbred with Homo sapiens, which is us. We've all got.
Did you say gingerbread or interbred? And you said interbred.
Interbred.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Sorry, it's my Pommy accent.
Oh, you're fine. I can understand you. I'm just
yeah.
Yeah.
The start of civilization as a civilization was in the region of the Tigris and the Euphrates in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. That's where they started. Well, from being hunter-gatherers, which is what everybody was, for a long, thousands of years, tens of thousands of years.
Yeah, the Celtic people were hunter-gatherers.
They started farming, and that very slowly moved up. And as far as the Romans are concerned,
fucking Romans.
There were always there were the Goths and the Huns.
Yeah.
And they
not you, Keith.
They sort of fought with the Roman Empire anyway. But of course, a lot of the Roman legions were local people who joined the legions.
Only in his 30s, bald as ever.
Yeah, the Picts and the Celts moved into northern Scotland. Well, they moved into the British Isles, and as you say, the Iceni,
yes,
chieftain,
tribe, the Iceni
well,
tribe, yeah.
their queen or whatever was Boudica.
Yeah, their queen, Boudica.
Yeah, she was a redhead.
She was, as they were.
But every race in the world has got between 1% and 2% redheads.
That's not true.
Okay.
Oh, I just know that for a fact. To be, I just don't. I would love to
in
see
the Scots and the Irish have a preponderance of redheads. There's about 6% of them are redheads. Now, I have redheads in my family.
That's
in fact, everybody's got redheads in their family.
You filthy Brit. I should have expected as much from a
You got a ginger beard.
coming to us Americans when you start getting your rear end kicked by Germany.
Now. So are you.
You need an American to come sort those boxes.
Black Hawk, can you leave us alone? I'm trying to talk to Keith, and I'm trying to listen to Keith, okay? How can I debate someone or have an earnest conversation with someone, not even a debate, but a conversation, if I can't hear what they're saying? Shut up, people. Sorry, Keith. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so...
You be a redhead?
You're not a redhead.
I identify as a ginger.
No, you don't identify as a ginger. You cannot identify as a ginger, okay? Transracial is not a thing. Good Lord, people. Okay. Basically, Chad says gingers are 95% Neanderthal and 5% jungle monkey. So that's great.
No.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Neanderthals were not jungle monkeys either. They were very clever people.
That's right. That's right.
But for some reason, and we don't really know why, they didn't succeed. They interbred with. In fact, most of us have one or two genes of Neanderthal in us anyway.
Yeah,
and from what I've read, the Neanderthal genes could have something to do with our health and any health problems we might have. And I don't know. I can't remember the details about all that.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. We carry a little bit of Neanderthal DNA. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. All of us do.
Yeah.
They interbred with us, and then something happened to them. I don't know if it was the Younger Dryas thing, impact theory thing, or some cataclysmic event. Yeah. Something wiped them out, and we, Homo sapiens, we survived. We got to
really. I think the Celts and the Picts were not a separate race, but they were communities.
So do you believe that black people and white people are not
separate? They are a separate race, but inside, other than the color of the skin, there's no difference between us.
There is literally...
The Chinese are a separate race.
Yeah,
they have a different sort of eyelid from us. That's the Sino race.
Yeah, there's Mongoloid, Caucasoid, etc., etc., etc. But
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe,
but we are Caucasians. And I don't think that that Caucasians are divided into separate races within it. The Caucasians are a race. And certainly there can be differences between communities. And there are differences between communities.
Okay, Giga Chat said, can you ask Keith if he'd be willing to be my token British narrator for my nature documentary on the ginger species? That's what Chad said. A person named Chad wants you to narrate their documentary. Tiffany. Okay, and now Janet's interrupting and has something to say as well. So that's great. Janet says, my Caucasian daddy, can you...
My Caucasian daddy, can you spit in my asshole and drink my cum foam with spicy ranch tonight? I heard you want to
eat my mood. Spin your asshole, Janet!
Cake. Hee. I want to rub that big old belly and eat up your butt like eating chocolate cake.
I can certainly understand you getting somewhat irate with all the interruptions.
Yeah, thank you, Keith. Thank you. I know. This is what I deal with on a damn near nightly basis. I've got Janet asking me to spit in her asshole. I apologize, Keith. I'm not trying to be vulgar and embarrass or, annoy you. But yeah, I got Janet trying to get me to spit in her asshole, and other people are talking about trying to get you to be a token Brit. Like, what?
This is a lot of what your show is all about, isn't it?
It's unfortunately, it does appear so that every other night I got morons, being just annoying. Like, I'm not trying to make this the way it is, but they just do that. I don't invite them to be on here. I don't invite them, hey guys, come and be assholes to me. I don't do that. I just try to simply teach my class, and then these assholes just show up like termites. Like flies to shit. They just fly, and they just get attracted to me. I attract flies. Not because I stink. Well, you know what I mean. This is a metaphor. I don't literally attract flies. I'm very clean. Anyway, I take one shower a month, and I do very well. Now, as I was saying, I don't take one shower. I take more showers than that. Anyway. Okay. I believe that I have coined a term. You might roll your eyes. I don't know. Whatever. There's Caucasoid, Mongoloid, and so on and so forth. I believe that there's a Celtoid race. This is the term that I coined. It's the Celtoids. Because we have distinct genetic physical on physical features and genetic features. We have genetic differences to your, let's just go with it, average Caucasian, okay? I'll play along and say average Caucasian. Okay, I don't believe that I'm Caucasian. I genuinely do not. I'm not trying to troll. I'm not joking. This is not a character. I'm not doing satire. I'm not Andy Kaufman, like some have described me. I am sincerely, I have a legitimate argument. I have done copious amounts, obsessive amounts of research on this very niche subject. I have not just done confirmation bias. I have looked for things to argue with myself in private. I don't want to just find things that go with what I'm saying and lend credence. I want to find things that go against it as well so I can debate it in private with myself. I'm not just, I'm not a cultist. I'm genuinely trying. But I have, let me get back to what you're saying. Let me reply to what you said. And after this person gets done interrupting me, okay?
Guys,
got another interruption,
secretly,
Keith!
I know
Another
gingers don't have souls. I am actually a fake gyner. I use food dye in my hair. Yes, even down there. Aubrey is my sister,
I
and
don't
although
use
we make
food
love,
dye
we are not
to
legally
dye my
married.
pubic hair.
This
What
has
is
all been
wrong
an act
with
one
y'all?
put on to grift off.
I don't use food coloring to dye my pubes! Okay, let's all act like civilized human beings and not like orangutans, okay? Let's try to act like humans, okay? Let's not interrupt the two gentlemen as they speak to each other. So, yeah. So, how are races formed? You were talking... I'm sorry?
I can understand where your argument comes from, but I'm afraid we will have to agree to disagree. I do not believe that there is a separate specific race of redheads. What about blue skin?
Yeah, well, if there was someone with blue skin...
A lot of the Picts did a lot of tattooing.
Yeah, it was woad.
And they painted themselves in woad.
Yeah, woad. That's
which
what
gave them a blue color on their skin. That doesn't make them a different race.
No, of course not. That's like wearing makeup and saying someone that wears makeup, like Kim Kardashian, is her own race. You know.
I mean, here in New Zealand, the Maori, they are not really a different race. They're still Caucasian style, but they are Polynesians.
Why gingers don't have souls?
They have a lot
Was
of
it because God so hated all that incest that he had no other choice but to punish them?
I'm sorry.
But it doesn't make them different from the rest of us.
Yeah, someone was talking over you at the very end there. I apologize. Yeah, it's not my fault, but yeah, I'm just idiots being idiots. People, the whole thing, like how races are formed, basically it's people whose ancestors have been living in the same geographical area for a long time. They tend to show similarities in visible characteristics, like size, the shape of their nose or their eyes, skin color, obviously, hair form, you know what I mean? Like, the African hair form versus like the kind of Caucasian hair form or the Asian. Then there's also invisible characteristics like blood groups. You know what I mean? So you have your Europeans, your Japanese, your Polynesians. Diversity is a thing that happens. It's a result of people in a geographic area intermarrying. Being exposed to a number of... I'm sorry?
The blood groups are universal anyway. Mm-hmm. Every race has got a range of blood groups, and they're all interchangeable, sort of.
Donald Trump. I'm really
I can't remember what my blood group is, but it doesn't matter.
You love it eating my
there
ass
are
and spitting
people
up in
in
my asshole, Big Daddy.
every race have got the same
Spitting up in my
group.
asshole, Big Daddy.
We got an idiot alert. Sorry, Keith. Someone named
asshole,
Janet wants me to eat her ass. I don't want to eat your ass, Janet. I am trying to talk to Keith. Please shut up. Please stop sexually. There's a girl named Janet who sexually harasses me as a joke every 5 minutes and 10 minutes on streams. Like, I'm like, please stop, okay? No, don't call me Big Daddy, Janet. I'm not your Big Daddy, okay? For fuck's sake, dude. Pardon my language. I am so sorry, Keith. I'm trying to have a civil discussion with you and not come across like a deranged, spit-spewing moron. I'm genuinely trying here, as I always try on my classes. Anyway, yeah, so ginger people, it was recently discovered that it's not just the MC1R gene. that is different, because we are literally genetically different than white people. Some call that a mutation. We're a mutant. Some people say. I find that to be very insulting. Although I know that is a scientific term, mutation. I'm aware, but with the added. I'm sorry.
This is just a variation. You're not a mutation.
Well, yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're not just a mutation. We're not a mutation. We are. That's like saying that black people are like a mutant of white people. That's not true. Or white people are a mutant of black people. That's not true. We're different races. So we have a different. Like, when you look at what a race is, okay, like, back to what, it's one of any groups among humans that are divided they're divided based on physical traits, freckles, pale skin, striking red hair, blue, green eye, that thing, regarded as common among a people of a shared ancestry. You see the highest percentage of redheads is in the Celtic region, modern-day Celtic lands of Ireland, Scotland, that area, of course, the place where the Roman invasion finally ceased. I believe that the Romans drove them out of their homes. As you see ancient descriptions of amongst all the people, like one race, that's Tacitus's words, one race. No taint of intermarriages with outside races, all having red hair, blue eyes, and tall statured, broad-shouldered people. I mean, you see all these historical descriptions, like an untainted race. Their words, Romans called the Celtic people a literal race of red-haired, blue-eyed people. As they were marching north. That's their words, not even mine. I'm not mincing words here.
Years ago.
I'm sorry?
That's 2,000 years ago.
Indeed. Yes. And you see what happened to the Native Americans.
People had different interpretations of different words. They had different interpretations of race. And as for the Romans driving people out, They didn't. They just moved in and took over and introduced their own form of civilization,
and their genes,
which was very, very happily taken over by you could, I suppose, call them the indigenous Britons. But of course, there were lots of different countries in those days in the British Isles.
Like you, as you said yourself,
there was not an England until Athelstan in about 972, I think. And he united all the different countries. There was Wessex and Essex and the Iceni and the Trilobantes and I forget all the different names. But they were all tribes, really.
Yeah, they were tribes because it wasn't like they had a city going on, That's where civilization was at that point for them. But they were still a race of people. I mean, when you look, it's like, just because someone doesn't have a city doesn't make them not a race. That's not what makes a race a race. That makes a civilization, a different level of civilization. There's just advancements, and so that's nothing to do with race, though. I mean, because if that were the case, it would be the Roman race. It's not. Yeah.
No, it's not. That is a civilization. That was an empire.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar in a way to what was the British Empire that collapsed it was starting to collapse during the Second World War, and India got its independence in, I think it was 1947. But what was the British Empire turned into what is now the British Commonwealth.
A race is a categorization of humans based on shared physical or social qualities into groups generally viewed as distinct within a given society. Red hair, freckles, pale, pasty skin complexion. We get sunburned. We have different genetics. We have a shared experience in terms of society and how society treats us and views us as a, back to the definition, distinct group within all societies throughout All of history. We were sold at a higher price as slaves in the Roman period. Redheads were literally seen for some reason as they sold us at a higher price. I mean, we were killed by the hundreds of thousands. I mean, during the Dark Ages, they burned redheads because they thought that they were witches. I mean, there's been whole genocides against redheaded people. They were even murdering red foxes for the same reason. If you had red hair, you were not having a good day that day, okay? You didn't want to leave the house. It was just not a good time. And so, I mean, it's like we've been othered by society to this day. We are not treated by white people like white people. We're not treated as, as it sounds kind of white, sounds racist, but like we're not treated like white brothers or sisters. We're not treated like Caucasians by other Caucasians. There is no familial love here, or cultural love. Redheads are othered. We are treated as, clowns, or we're fetishized by men, by what I would say white men. Redheaded women, if they're not being, burned at the stake, these days they're being fetishized and made into whole porn categories, not to be vulgar. Redheads, ginger girls, like it's literally we're fetishized. It's just, we're not treated the same. We're not seen as the same. We are viewed as distinct. When you see a group of redheads walking together, it'll stand out to you. I was in England and someone rode by in a car and literally yelled out, what was it? It wasn't Bluey. It was like they called me a ginger. They're like, ginger fuck, or something. It was like ginger or something. And I didn't know if it was because they recognized me as being kind of like an iconic ginger, internet meme, or they were literally just yelling at me because I'm a redhead, which I think it was the latter. I don't think that they knew who I was. I've shaved my head. I look a lot different than my original videos, I have a shaved head, beard, blah, 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 blah. I'm in the UK. I'm not even from England, born-wise. I wasn't born in England. So they're just yelling at a redhead from the car. I mean, and that wasn't the only time I got accosted for having red hair. I mean, gingers are, especially in what I call the ginger motherland, Scotland, England, we're especially treated poorly. I mean, really, I have tons of articles of like people being ostracized and attacked for having red hair and being a ginger. Tons, and kids, and I don't want to get too heavy here, but we've also got examples of redheads unfortunately taking their own lives because of bullying over being ginger. And I can bring these articles up, and I'm not trying to get this, because I don't want to make this an emotional argument, or I don't want to use that to make it so you seem like you're not, cult. I know you're not like that. So I want to leave that out of the argument about whether it's a race or not. That's not, anyone being bullied shouldn't be bullied, regardless of race or what they look like. That's just, I'm sure we can both agree. Yeah, exactly. So that's...
Yeah, I do. There is still a lot of bullying going on. But a lot of it is now moved on to religion. People of different religions are being bullied.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that's with the crew. I mean, that's been.
But that's another subject altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's been going on forever as well. I mean, but so they're saying now that Scottish research has found that the Celts. This is from a Scottish research website. The Scottish, okay, and we're getting interrupted again by an idiot named Brass
serious
Bus.
Question.
Sorry.
Why are you wasting this gentleman's time talking about how diverse everything is?
My gosh,
the questions you should be asking him what is the secret to a happy life?
What is the secret to a happy life?
What is the secret to a long, happy life?
All right.
Please ask.
Okay, Brass Bus wants me to ask you, what is the secret to a long, happy life? Is it not having people interrupt you every stream? Is that it?
Oh, everybody who gets a bit old seems to be asked that question.
Yeah, it would seem so.
I will say keep breathing, keep drinking, keep eating, have a bit of exercise, look after yourself, look after your family, look after your friends. Main thing is, just keep on doing what you keep on doing.
Just keep enjoying what you do, yeah. Yeah, those are wise words, honestly. I mean, some might say, oh, no, well, of course. But, that's true, though. That's exactly what you got to do. I agree with you. And I'm nowhere near, of course, your age, so it's like, yeah. So that's a great answer. Scottish research has found that the Celts' flaming red hair can be put down to the weather. With 10% in Ireland and 13% of people in Scotland boasting glorious red hair, the experts believe that the gloomy climate in Scotland prompted a deliberate genetic adaptation. Essentially, this means that red hair helps to take advantage of sunny days and allows the body to absorb more vitamin D in a climate where it's, cloudy and you don't get as much. That's why we burn everywhere else, Keith. We burn in America or South America. We have to put on a lot of, sunscreen. Whereas in Scotland, England, Ireland, yada, 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 we're not having to do that as much down there. You know what I mean?
You would carry that over to Scandinavia.
Yeah, well, we did carry it over to Scandinavia. We did.
Northern Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And along to Siberia. And I suppose you could keep going around the world and you get to Alaska and the Canadian North.
Yeah, and
we're all in roughly the same climatic. Well, not so much climatic, but about the same amount of ultraviolet. Which is really why we have problems in New Zealand. That we have a hole in the ozone layer, so our ultraviolet rays are a hell of a lot stronger than anywhere else in the world. You can get sunburnt here badly in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, no, for sure. I mean,
that's another thing altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have the different degrees in terms of geographical, lines, if you will. Like sub-Saharan, the further south you go, the darker skin tones you get with the heat, around the equator and things like that. And that's a genetic adaptation, just like as the Scottish Scientists and Research Facility has found. That's why we have so many gingers specifically. But here's the thing, though. You don't really have gingers in Russia like you do in Scotland and Ireland. You don't have them anywhere else. Anywhere else.
Yes, they do. There's still 1 to 2% of everybody is going to have red, ginger, tawny hair of whatever shade.
That is, and I gotta say, that's just not true. And I have sources to literally back that statement up. It's just not true.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree on that.
Okay, that's fine, but it's not true. I'll show you. I'm gonna put a thing on the screen here, and I'd like to be able to screen share it, but I can't do that while I'm simultaneously streaming. I want to show this. I want to show everyone watching at home what's going on here. So I'm gonna put it on in. So this right here, World Population Review. This is recent, so you can see the percentage of redheads in the entire world. And this is where this is like scary to look at. So you can see here, let me zoom out so you can see the whole map. The world map and percentage of redheads. You see that dark blue down here in the ruler, the little area here it shows you. So this is it. Green, you have 4% in all of America and Alaska, comprising that entire continent. And that's only because it's such a big body of land and so many people came over there after like the Irish potato famine, things like that. You have a lot of people from the UK traveling, old UK to America. America's but you don't see that in like Australia or New Zealand, for example, where Keith is living, where he's, from, but not, he's from England, but, and then but if you look here right there, oh, look, that's it. That's it. That's the world population of redheads. It is almost entirely, as they said in Discord last night, one nuclear bomb, and you're taking out literally like 95% of the redhead world population. If you just took out Scotland and England and like Great Britain, the UK and Ireland, like that's scary. That's not good. The only other land that is just highlighted at all is, let me see here. That is, I want to say, is that Wales? It's not Wales. No, Wales. That's the Netherlands. 2% of the Netherlands is redheaded. 9 to 10%, over 10% of the UK, and over 10% in Ireland. Other than that, nothing else, nowhere else in the world has a percentage of redheads per capita enough to even warrant showing up on the map. I mean, it's really, really bad. Like we really don't have much going on. That's not a good thing. So I wish, I really do wish that I was wrong and that Keith was right in this scenario. I don't want to be right here. I'm rooting for Keith's opinion on this one.
Let me in, Redland
but it's just
Copper.
not true.
We can do this the
It's not
easy
the
way or
reality.
the easier way.
You know? It's just not.
It's statistics. And there was a quote I remember reading years ago that there are lies, damned lies, and statistics.
What? What? That all statistics are bullshit?
With statistics, you can prove anything you want to prove. You can, if you choose what you want, what statistics you want, you can prove anything.
Okay, so yeah, you're just not gonna agree with me. That's okay, but you understand where I'm coming from, as you said earlier. I make a very good argument.
You understand where you're coming from, and it is a persuasive argument, really. Although I disagree.
Thank you.
I disagree with your opinion, but I can see where you're coming from, and in a way, it is an argument that makes some sort of sense, if you like. Although I don't agree with it. That's fine.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the decorum and the politeness, and I appreciate your argument as well. And I really do. And I wouldn't say it. I would on this subject. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. I really appreciate you taking time to debate with me, or not even really debate, just have a conversation, a polite, frank conversation on this subject. With because you are someone who actually, you know what you're talking about. It seems like there's no matter what I say, or no matter how much statistics, as you say. I show you, or how much evidence there's no scenario where you're gonna come out of this agreeing with me that gingers are a race. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah.
Most gingers are Caucasian, but there are gingers in general in every race in the world. Between 1% and 2% of them are redheads, one sort or another. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, because it is a recessive gene in a chromosome, which is quite rare anyway. And okay, you've got a preponderance of people in one area, which is because that gene is more likely to be transferred amongst those people. That's all.
Where did you get this 1% to 2% in every race? Just out of curiosity. Being redheaded.
I found it. I can't remember exactly where, but I did find it somewhere on the internet.
Was it on the internet?
And I checked up as far as I could.
And would you say
I don't necessarily believe everything I read on the internet.
And that's
There's an awful lot of liars,
Yeah, there are, and that's kind of a statistic too. So that could just be made up. But a lot of statistics, the majority, in fact, I would say all, 99.9999% say that, because there's consensus, and they kind of take how many are redhead. The world population estimates of redheads is like between 1% and 2% of the whole world population, not per each race, but the world population.
Right. Yes.
Of the entire planet.
In the Celtic and Pictish races, it is somewhere in the vicinity of 5 to 6%.
And I love that you said the Celtic races, the Celtic and Pictish races, because they are a race. That is a race of people, and they were all described as having red hair.
I used it in a very loose form, really.
Okay. Well, the ethnic group. Yeah, sure. I got you. Well, I mean, that we're first entering those lands and conquering and seeing the indigenous people, they're describing them as redheaded. all as having red hair. I mean, and these certain features, peculiar physical features that led them. I mean, they wrote about it. They went out of their way to describe them and their physical appearance as having red hair. Striking, Boudica, and many others as well. Mary, Queen of Scots, red hair. I mean, many Scottish people, the world population, Edinburgh is the world capital of redheads. That city specifically, Edinburgh, Scotland, is the world capital. More redheads are in that city than any other city on planet Earth. And it's not a coincidence that that's where the Roman invasion stopped, the conquest stopped. It's not a coincidence that if you look at a map of the Roman conquest at its height, it gets cut off in the same exact area where we had the modern day highest populations of redheads. Ireland, Scotland, the two areas where the Roman invasion stopped. It's just, it all lines up too well. It's not a coincidence.
Just as far as they wanted to go.
Yeah, and that's where you see the spike of redheads. Well, not the spike of redheads, but you know what I mean, the percentage increase. I mean, it's just not a coincidence. There's so much evidence that lends, I genuinely believe that it was almost, maybe not entirely, but like 99%, I believe that redheads were consolidated. That they had a strong percentage of redheads, way more than today. Because let me explain. In America, there used to be something like 50 to 100 million. There have been estimates, 50 to 100 million Native Americans in America, pre-colonial America, the Britons and bringing in the white man, and then African American, black people and all that. Before all that, when it was just Native Americans, pre-Columbus, it was like 50 to 100 million, and now there's not. I think it's like 500,000. It's nowhere near as many now.
I don't think there were that many.
Well,
if you like, indigenous, they've only been there 18 to 20,000 years anyway.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what I read last night. I was researching this specifically because it lends credence. It just says if that happened, I mean, regardless, it used to be it was Native American, and now if you look at if you took all that context out of it, if I didn't tell you what country it was called, who lived there, if you're an alien, you're not from planet Earth, your first time coming here, and you look at America or Australia or New Zealand, but let's just say America, and you look at it and you say, okay, and you're an alien, okay, what's the population of white people versus this, or group one? Group one is white, group two is Native American. To an alien, they're going to think that, America was always populated by group one because it's so strong. There's like hundreds of millions of white people. It is far and away the top, the race in America in terms of population. It's got white people as the massive majority. Native Americans don't come anywhere in terms of population percentage. It's not even a contest. But it was the Native American land. These were not indigenous to America. And there's many that say 50, 100 million. I mean, and that's not the number anymore. So that happened to America. Look at the size of Great Britain and Scotland and that kind of region compared to the size of America or Australia or these other places that are now dominated by white people, the race, that percentage. And if that could happen in Australia, look at how big that, or America, or Canada. You see, with like the indigenous people, they used to call them Eskimo. That's an offensive term now, but you don't see that. It's all
Inuit.
white people. Yeah, the Inuits. Yeah, it's just all not all white people, obviously, but like the percentage is so vastly different now. An alien,
because in the 17th and 18th and 19th centuries, millions of people emigrated to America from Europe.
Yeah. But that happened. But that happened to the Celtic gingerlands too. That happened to the areas that were all redheaded. White people went there as well and intermixed. That's why you have white families having redheaded babies because of dormant genetics and ancestral genes, Celtic genes. That's why you have redheads popping up in other parts of the world, just like you'll have black people.
It's only one gene in a chromosome, so it's a very rare thing on a worldwide basis. But certainly you can have clusters of people with that gene because of intermarriage or interbreeding.
You're talking about gingers?
Anyway, never mind.
Okay. Well, it's actually like I think it's like 20 or
25,000 years ago, there was nobody in America, on the American continent.
some say, yeah. There's more.
That was the time of the Ice Age.
Yeah, there's debates.
And that is why, up to 10,000 years ago, there was nobody on the British Isles, because it was under a mile thick sheet of ice.
Right. I mean, yeah. I just when you have all these descriptors and you have the genetics and you got the differences, even down to how we react with the sun, I mean, it's not just one or two. I mean, it's many descriptions from ancient people describing this group, this region, as having vast amounts of redheads throughout so vast a population, all having the same characteristics, red hair, blah 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 blah. I mean, to the modern day, all the way bringing it to the modern day stereotyping of the Scotsman, the Irishman, the redhead. I mean, Conan O'Brien, famous. He's 100% Irish genetically. A doctor told him that it's not really a good thing. It means that he's had inbreeding, incest in his family at some point, because he is 100. He said he'd never seen someone who was genetically 100% genetically Irish. Conan O'Brien, the comedian, talk show host. And he's as red as the sun. I mean, he's an iconic redhead. And he's Irish, 100% genetic. So, and he's a redhead, of course. So it's just, yeah, I mean, when you look at the definition, if words have meanings, Keith, and they do, and we look at what defines a race and how races are formed with the weather, with recent studies saying that gingers pop up in Scotland and northwestern Europe, Ireland, Scotland specifically, because of the weather and the climate. You look at that, and that's how races are formed, because of like climate and the weather, and that's where you have the world's highest percentage of redheads is in that climate, that area. And then you look at the definition and the shared culture, the Celtic, languages, and the kind of their ginger experience, even modern day in America, but throughout the world, throughout the history of redheads and how we're treated by other people in society, demonized, called witches and wizards, called, even fucking, part of my language, werewolves and vampires by the Greeks. They thought they had to like do something. Even after we die, we would come back to life. A redhead would come back to life as like a vampire or werewolf. I mean, it's absolute absurdity, Keith. Absolute absurdity. I mean, we are treated as other. We're not treated as white people. We're just not. We're not seen as that. The definition of race is a group of people is seen as distinct because they have a set of physical characteristics. If words have if we're not a race, then white people aren't a race. Then black people aren't a race. Then nobody's a race. You know what I mean? Ginger people deserve to be considered their own separate race. If not, then words don't mean anything. Because that is literally the definition of the word. We match that to a T. We check all the boxes. We are just not given the same respect. And we're mocked. And we're like the last group of people where it's socially acceptable to make fun of us. Like Ron Weasley. We're always played in the movies as the clown, as the goofball. We're never the leading man. We're never James Bond. Even Doctor Who, as you may or may not have watched that series growing up, it's like a joke, a running joke, a gag that, am I a ginger yet? He wants to be a ginger. Doesn't say a redhead or red hair or a white man. Oh, am I this? He makes a point of, he's not a ginger yet. Oh, I'm going to be a ginger, a redhead. We're not seen as the same. And we're not treated as the same either. I have a genuine argument here. And people don't want to agree with me, but they don't have any real argument. Like, I'm making an actual argument. And I could go on. I'll let you go soon because I don't want to, keep you. You've given us a lot of time. I appreciate, the time you've spent here, talking with me. And I don't want to take up more of your time, but I'm just saying, it's like, am I taking crazy pills? Like, no one is understanding where I'm coming from. People have never really thought about the argument I'm making. It's like this. People don't do the research that I've done. Maybe you probably have never gone out of your way to research, are gingers a race, and why would they, you don't, I mean, why would you, right? It's a very niche, very specific subject that no one really probably thinks about. I noticed that there was something going on here. I went out of my way to research it, and I found all of these things that support my claims. I have not just done I have not just researched in a biased manner, confirmation bias. I have gone out of my way to argue with myself, and I've come up with the conclusion, and I'm very staunch in my stance here about redheads being their own. I don't identify gingers as white. When we see each other, there's an unspoken language. Like, we recognize each other. As silly as that probably sounds, and I'm sure it does, when we see each other, we can kind of like nod to one another. Like, hi, like there's like an unspoken bond, a kind of kindred spirit, if you will, amongst all the redheads. In fact, we were even proven to have a singular ancestor. There was apparently genetically we all have a shared ancestor. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it's just like, people, they don't think about it, but they'll get like defensive and they'll argue with me. I don't understand why. Like, I just don't understand why they want to argue with me about something that they clearly don't care about, but they want to just argue. Like, they don't care enough to research, but they care enough to argue against my point and my stance. It's very odd. It's very ignorant,
Could it be that you might have a bit of an inferiority complex, and what you're doing is a reaction to that?
No, I don't have an inferiority. No, I don't have an inferiority complex. I find people mocking redheads and now getting tattoos, Keith. People getting tattooed. I grew up being picked on and discriminated against for being a ginger and mocked online by literally, not figuratively, literally hundreds of millions of people have left comments and have watched my videos and mocked me and laughed at me. I'm known as the ginger kid, even though I'm not a kid anymore. Online, the angry ginger. Even though I'm clearly not fucking angry as a person. Am I passionate? Yes. But I'm not an angry ginger. That's a stereotype that redheads are more hot-headed because of red hair.
I think you're putting it on,
What are you talking about now, Keith? I'm putting it on.
You're angry.
I don't understand what you're saying.
You seem to work yourself up into a rage, and it is part of your show.
There we go again with the show thing. Yeah, no, that's not. That's
yeah.
Okay,
Oh, well.
I mean, that's just an assumption and a basic.
I've enjoyed it.
Well,
I've
thank you.
enjoyed
I'm glad
this.
that you enjoy. I'm glad you enjoy the show, Keith. I'm really not trying to make people laugh though, and I'm not putting on a show. This is not a character. I'm literally just trying to prove a point, and I'm proving my point, but no one's listening. Can you see how frustrating that is? Like, when you have fact-based evidence supporting your claims, and no one's willing to take you seriously and like give you an actual and give that evidence an earnest look and take it seriously in good faith, because it's really annoying. Because I am genuinely making all the arguments. I'm literally saying gingers are a race, and here's why. I'm making great points, and then people like yourself, no offense to you, will just be like, yeah, I see your point. You make a great argument, but no, you're just wrong. But no, you're just wrong. That's just it. Hey, you're wrong. Hey, you're wrong. The sky, it's blue. I can see that it's blue. I've got photo evidence that the color of the sky, as we can see it with our eyes in ultraviolet, it's blue. It's of a blue hue. No, I see these pictures. I see your point. Make a great argument, but I think it's green. Okay, why? I don't know. It's just green. It just is. You're just white. Okay, why am I white? Even though I'm not treated, I'm not blah blah. I'm not seeing. Well, you just are. You're just Caucasian. That's just it. You're just you're white. I think you might have an inferiority complex. All about. It's just like these aren't real arguments. Like, I'm genuinely presenting an actual case before the court, and I'm being told I'm a clown, and this is a show. Like, I'm genuinely trying here. I'm seriously trying, and people don't listen to me. It's like I'm not trying to make a circus here. I'm trying to put on an actual class. And I'm not insulted by because I'm glad you're enjoying it and everything. I'm certainly don't want to give you the impression that I'm insulted, because I'm not, and I appreciate you again, and I think you're very cool. And I appreciate you being on here. I'm just like, and I appreciate you engaging with me on this subject, and you've been taking it seriously. I can tell that you're kind of trying to take it seriously, even though I know you don't agree with me. Maybe not entirely though. But anyway, yeah, it's disheartening because I feel like my culture was stolen from me. Ginger people, Celtic people. I believe that Celtic people, the indigenous people of the lands that we call the modern day Celtic lands of Ireland, Scotland, I feel like those were redheaded. That was a redheaded. I call it Redland. It's just like a playful name. Just a name to call it Redland. Iceland, Greenland, Redland. It's kind of the name that I just kind of shorthand came up with to describe the lands that I believe that were once dominated by redheaded people, as were described as such by ancient historians, and have now, due to intermixing, subjugation by outside forces, and all that stuff, and just time as people move and migrate to other places. The numbers of the redheaded, Redland, the indigenous people, like you see in Native Americans with America, Aborigines in Australia, the Inuits in Canada, the indigenous redheaded Celtic people of Redland, modern day Scotland, Ireland, England, they have dropped, and they have had their culture white, and I don't mean this to be offensive to white people, but like whitewash. In other words, we have been conditioned to believe that we are white. Like you say, I'm a Caucasian. We have just been conditioned, as they say, history is written by the victors, the white people that conquered those lands, and the Romans and now you have Roman Britain, the Romanized Britons, the modern day kind of white Caucasian British guy, English guy, the Englishman, like yourself, that culture, the Roman Britons. That's just what happened. And that's why you see Celtic speakers in Scotland, not in England. You see the Celtic speakers, you see the redheads, you see the gingers increase in Scotland and in Ireland, because they weren't invaded by Romans. They didn't get successfully invaded. That's what happened. I'm genuinely making a real argument, but it's just no one really wants to take it seriously. But anyway, I don't know. It's not a cultist fantasy. I just want to bring back, here's what I want, Keith. I want a state, I want a piece of land in the Highlands of Scotland given to I want the redheads to have a state in northern Scotland, maybe, northwestern Scotland near the Outer Hebrides or somewhere else. I don't know. But there's even lands, tons of thousands and thousands and thousands of acres, kilometers of land for sale in Scotland. I mean, you can find it online. I want to be given land for my people so that we can rekindle the fire of our culture. And I want it to be, I want to reteach people in the schools. I want Scottish Gaelic, the language, the Celtic languages, to be taught in schools. I want to preserve Celtic culture. I don't want it to be forgotten about, and I don't want it to be a dead language like Latin. I want these are good things, whether or not you agree with my stance. I want to preserve the culture, the Celtic cultures, and I want to have land for redheads to thrive because, our numbers might be dwindling. We're a minority. We are a minority.
You need to go to Wales.
What now?
You need to go to Wales.
Why Wales?
Because they, especially in North Wales, they speak Welsh.
Yeah.
Almost more than they speak English.
And I love that.
And all their road signs are in Welsh and English.
And
you come to New Zealand, you'll find all our road signs are in Maori and English, which can get a bit frustrating at times.
I will say that the signs in Wales, though, are a bit ridiculous. The signs in Wales are a bit ridiculous, though. They're too long. The Welsh.
No. But anyway, that would be another subject.
Okay.
If you want to talk about that, we'll do that another time if you like. I don't mind.
Keith,
I've enjoyed this.
Let's see. Maybe I can fix this.
But it is almost 6 o'clock here, and it's getting on for dinner time.
I can't hear you anymore. My headset died, and so I guess this conversation is coming to an end, and I'm gonna unfortunately have to end the stream because I can't find the cord for my headset. I can't hear anyone, and I can't hear you. Do you have anything that you want to say? I'm not gonna be able to hear you, so please don't talk shit about me. Do you have anything that you want to say to everyone watching right now before I end the stream?
Yep, I've enjoyed this afternoon. For what, a couple of hours? Let's do it again, or something similar again, sometime. Not tomorrow, though. Leave it a bit. Bye.
All right. Well, thank you, Keith. He can't hear me, but thank you, Keith, for joining the stream. Thank you. I know. Oh, sorry. I just want to say, I know I can't hear you, but thank you for joining and for engaging with me on this topic. I sincerely appreciate you very much, and I'd love to talk to you again in the future about other things that you want to talk about. Since we talked about something that I'm interested in, I'd love to talk to you about other things in the future. And thank you
I
for
think
coming on.
perhaps I had better say that all the comments down the right-hand side of my screen
On the YouTube.
I haven't had time to read them all, but thank you very much. So the people have been listening to us. Oh, we'll see you again.
Okay, well, I'm going to end the stream here. Everyone have a good night, okay? My headset died. Otherwise, I'd be still talking. So thank you so much. And take care. Much love, y'all. I can't hear you guys. And frankly, I don't care right now. I've went ahead and disconnected him from the Discord call. Let me go ahead and leave the call as well. You little fuckers have pissed me off tonight. Why the fuck would you interrupt so much when I'm trying to talk to Keith? What is your fucking problem? Huh? Titanium? Some zone cat? A long time ago, an orangutan humped a dolphin and a Neanderthal. The mutant baby was what we today call a Gingy. Then they evolved to simp and rage. History is fun. Go fuck yourself, some zone cat. I mean, honestly, people, what's your problem? I'm trying to have a sincere conversation with this guy, and I got black cock, all over me. Oh, that sounds weird. No, I don't have black cock all over me. I got black hawk, cock, CAWK, who said, donated to and said, CopperCab and Keith, I am sorry for my behavior tonight. Well, you should be. I will sit and contemplate my actions and reflect. Please let Keith know I am sorry, even if he is British. Okay, that sounds weird. Gingers do have souls. Forget the haters and clowns. Yeah, well, Anyway, obviously, you guys don't know how to behave yourselves. So I thought we could have a civil discussion without clowns interrupting me, as usual. But it is what it is, and I'm sick. Mind you, folks, mind you. Look, and I saw some people in the live chat saying that they actually were starting to agree with me. They're like, unfortunately, I see where CopperCab's coming from. I don't know why y'all would say unfortunately. I don't know why you would say that. But I'm right. I'm genuinely right. I made a sincere argument. And if you were going to talk to me in good, if you were going to really not be a troll or a clown or just, willfully ignorant, you would see where I'm coming from. I'm right. I'm right. You're wrong. I made my argument. And by the way, I'm not even getting started. I've got a lot more where that came from. So, yeah. I just don't understand why y'all, I don't understand why you guys don't see where I'm coming from. I just don't get it. But, yeah, so. Yeah. I just don't get it. I made it all, like, I laid it out. But I've still got idiots that'll go, no, that's opinion based, even though it's literally not. I'm citing sources and I'm bringing up fact-based evidence to support my claims. That's not opinion based. You don't know what words mean clearly. You struggle with knowing what a race is, and now you don't even know what the word opinion means. How you define the word opinion. So clearly you guys have some reading level, deficiencies and some comprehension skills that you need to work on. So reading comprehension or just comprehension in general. But yeah, I'm gonna put a poll in the live chat. Who do you think won the debate? Clearly I won, but you know, even Keith agreed with me. Even Keith said I had I made a very strong, convincing argument. His words. I'm paraphrasing, but those were basically what he said. That's what he said. But he just disagrees. He said, you make a great point. You make a good argument, a persuasive argument, and I see where you're coming from. Ding, 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 ding. You know, check, 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 check. He's like, but I just disagree with you. That is opinion-based. That's what an opinion-based argument is. Keith's opinion is an opinion. That's an opinion. By the way, what the fuck is he talking about? 2% of every race is redheaded? What? I want everyone watching right now.
I'm a fan.
I want everyone watching right now. Even based Giga Chad, one of the biggest fucking morons here, agrees with me. Based Gigs donated 3. For real though, man, you are making some legit cases and laying out facts. I can't disagree with that. Like, what are we doing here, people? Like, why are you arguing with me? You're not even really arguing. You're just, no. It's literally, that is an opinion. That is a feeling-based argument. I'm using logic, as Giga Chad says, legit cases, laying out facts. I'm using fact. Do you know what the word fact means? Fact-based arguments. Facts. Okay? As Ben Shapiro, whatever his fucking dumbass name is. Facts don't care about your feelings, people. You can feel like gingers are white, even though they're not, but that doesn't make it so. I'm actually showing you all the reality. You can feel free to disagree, but you're wrong. Who the fuck is cherry picking? I literally read the definition of what race is, you fucking moron. How is that cherry picking? I didn't look up what's the definition of race, as long as it makes it so that you can make it look like redheads are a race. No, I literally just said, what's the definition? What is a race? How a race is formed? Nothing to do with redheads. Nothing to do with gingers. Just the word race. And how is like an African American, black, white, Asian, how are races formed? You take that knowledge and then you apply it, moron, to Celtic people, ginger people. And what's this? It fits perfectly the description of what we define as a race, or what classifies as a race. Wow. So that could be classified as a race. Interesting. Weird how that worked out. So, you guys are just fucking morons, and I'm not going to bother with you. I'm too sick to care. Keith is someone I can actually have a conversation with. You guys are like, monkeys slinging shit at the wall. Just slinging shit at the screen, the proverbial screen. That's what y'all are, okay? The peanut gallery. Y'all are goofballs. I don't take you people seriously. I'm actually having a civil discussion with a 91-year-old gentleman who is willing to say, oh, I see where you're coming from. I can see that you make a great argument, very persuasive argument, and I can tell, blah, 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 blah. I can see where you're coming from. I just disagree, respectfully. That's a gentleman. You're going, no, you're wrong, because you're wrong. You're childish. You are childish simpletons, and I'm not going to argue with you. So, yeah, you're not all childish simpletons, but a lot of them. Okay, let's be serious here. Copper, okay, and ginger people, and the ginger race, okay. A vote for Copper is a vote for ginger race and the ginger people, and then Keith, old white man. Who won, y'all? Go and vote in the poll right fucking now. Go and vote in the poll right now. Go vote. Who won, Keith or Copper? Keith or Copper? I already know you're gonna vote Keith. I'm not stupid. Satirus submitted. Satirus said, "Find that charging cable, Copper. I made a Prezi for you, King." Satirus donated 3. I don't know where the cable is. I don't know where. I've been streaming for over 2 hours. I mean, it's 11 p.m. I don't know. I don't know where the cable is. I really don't know. I would like to know. Yeah. I just don't. And I'm sick. Here's what we'll do. I will play this tomorrow. Okay? I will play this video tomorrow. Clown Ben Ray. That's a queen. What is it? It's a Scottish word. Celtic. Oh, yeah. It literally says queen there. I didn't see that. Yeah, that's queen. As you know, I've been learning Scots-Gaelic for months and months. I stopped studying for a few months, but I'm taking it back up this week. And I was fluent in like over 500 words in Scots-Gaelic. Gaelic, actually, is how you pronounce it in Scottish. Irish Gaelic, Gaelic, and then Scots-Gaelic. It's like kind of like you're saying garlic without the R. Gaelic and Gaelic. Ghaidlig is how you spell it for Scottish Gaelic. Anyway, pretty sure it's how you spell it. I'm gonna go. I will play this video tomorrow. Satirist. I don't appreciate what you've done putting clown faces on all the people. I voted for Copper because I felt bad. Fuck off, Satirist. You didn't vote for me because you felt bad. You voted for me because I'm right and you know it. Let's see. Who agrees with me, though, about my argument? I'm genuinely curious. Okay, well, 23% of you. That's better than 0. Yeah, so it's just 43 people voting, whatever. I don't really care. All right. I got to stop the stream here. Join the Discord server. I'm going to try to find my microphone or my headset charger. I'll join the voice chat on my phone. Feel free to pop in the VC and come hang out. Discord.gg/CopperCab. I will be streaming tomorrow. Clearly, I'm sick. You can kind of hear it in my voice. Kind of crackly, kind of scratchy voice. But tonight was a good test of my patience. I had to do an interview, essentially, and debate and talk a lot with someone on camera, with Keith. Keep him engaged. Keep the stream engaged. I had to do a lot of talking, and I also had to deal with interruptions. So I'm clearly well enough that I can stream again. It doesn't really hurt to talk as much today. I'm still sick. I can feel it. I'm still coughing up fucking mucus, phlegm, white, yellow, green colored phlegm, which sucks. Fighting off a virus, but it is what it is. I've got my Mucinex Instant Soothe Sore Throat and Pain Relief, so that's nice. I'm drinking plenty of water, but I'm well enough to stream. So, and I feel good enough where I can stream. I'm not just like, I want to lay on the couch all day sick, So I can sit down and chat with you guys for a couple hours and shoot the shit and teach you classes like I usually do. I will be back tomorrow. I will be streaming tomorrow, probably around 2:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. I'm not going to say that I'm going to be on time 100%. I mean, I've said that a million times, and I'm never on time. But I'm going to try to be on time tomorrow. I really am. I've been waking up earlier every day because my cold has been keeping me from getting really good sleep, unfortunately. I wake up, and I'll be coughing, or I'll just be like mucus, and I need to go to the bathroom. So, you know what I mean? When you have a really bad cold, and it makes you, you wake up. It wakes you up at, 9 a.m. when you want to sleep in. So, anyway. But yeah, come hang out in the voice chat. I'll be in the voice chat hanging out. I'm going to cook a lasagna. I bought a big Stouffer's lasagna. Vegetarian, because of my wife. She's beautiful redhead. Vegetarian. And it's a 3 cheese Stouffer's, from the freezer section. Drop a 111 if you've ever had one of those. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy, nothing special. But it's one of those big family size lasagnas. I'm not well enough to cook. And Aubrey has strep throat really bad. She feels like shit. So I want to, cook her some dinner because I love her. And I always want to make sure that my wife is well fed, just like she does for me. So we've got a great relationship. So when you're in a relationship, you support each other. You don't just let your wife do all the cooking and cleaning. You also help out because a relationship is a partnership. You understand? You complement each other. It's not 50-50 in a relationship. It's 100-100. That's how much effort you give. 100%. So, honestly, Aubrey and I, we don't struggle at all. We don't really have any fights. I mean, if you know her personality type, you know me, like in Discord, you hang out and chat with us. We just shoot the shit. We fuck with each other. She pisses me off with the clowns, how much I almost want to say she simps for the clowns, but I'm not going to call my wife a simp. But she doesn't simp for the clowns, so don't get cocky and start saying, yeah, she's simping for me. Yeah, that's right, bitch. She's simping for me. No, she's not simping for you or the clowns. I'm just saying, I don't know why in private she talks so lovingly about idiots. But regardless, I'm glad that y'all like her. I don't care if she likes y'all. But she may like you, but she loves me. Okay? So don't get cocky. Hashtag our wife in the live chat. Don't fucking hashtag our wife. She's my wife. You can tell. Can you tell in my voice? Hey, hi. You can tell. You can tell in my voice that I'm sick. I've been having those wet coughs too where I'm coughing up mucus. Anyway, I'm going to go. Okay? Much love, everyone. I really appreciate all of you. There was like 150 people here at one point, which is more than usual for this time of night for one of these streams. But maybe it was the funny title, arguing with a 91-year-old man. But yeah, I appreciate all of you who showed up. Like 140 something people, 150. I don't know if it was 150, but yeah, it was more than typical for this kind of class at this time of night. So that's cool. I'm not like a numbers chaser, I don't really care about that kind of thing, but it was cool. And it was like that for a while. So during like it kind of maintained that for a while. So I appreciate all of you who were here, who showed up. And if you would like to see me debate Keith or just see Keith again on the streams, I'm happy to have him back on. It's unfortunately I can't have Meemaw on the streams anymore. Sadly. So it's fun to have older people. The point I'm making is that it's fun. It is fun. Like, the Dracula videos, the Filthy Frank, Joji, Plum Court videos with Dracula, going off on the, those Dracula videos where it's like, shit, what up, Snipe? The old man Dracula, my grandpa Dracula. It's cool. Old people are fun. And when they're like willing to go on camera and chat with younger generations like, millennials, Zoomers, Gen A, it's fun. So, sadly, we don't have Meemaw with us anymore. She's, gone to heaven. So, it's cool to have older people on. So, that's fun. And I would love to have Keith back on the stream again. And I'm not saying that he's replacing Meemaw. Nobody can replace Meemaw, obviously. I'm just saying he's a unique individual, like all of us are. And he just happens to be an older man from a different generation. And that kind of cultural divide, generational gap can be fun to kind of play with, you know what I mean? If I were to ask him what his pronouns were, what would his reaction be? You know what I mean? Thing like that. So, it's all obvious. You know what I'm talking about. So, anyway, I'm going to get off I'm going to get off the stream. I'm going to let my throat settle. I'm going to go take a shower. I haven't showered today. I feel like a nice hot steam shower will help me in some soup. And then I'm going to pop into the Discord voice chat. Feel free to join the server. It is absolutely a welcoming place. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's welcoming even to clowns. And all the class clowns will tell you that. Like Satira, she's literally a mod in my chat. Even though she's a fucking clown. Aubrey made a lot of these people mods. But I didn't. Aubrey's the one making like Giga Chat anyway. Yeah, but I let them be mods so that it's not well, anyway, I have a very bipartisan moderator kind of situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've got some mods that are more social justice, but I've also got some mods that are like Giga Chad's a mod, Satirist is a mod. Brooke is a mod. Jitlin mod. I don't think Jitlin, but you know what I mean. So it's very, it's a very fun place. Community, kind of like a playground for people of all political backgrounds to just come and hang out and converse and share their ideas and just kind of converge in like a cool subculture. The CCM subculture. The CopperCab King, the Copperverse, as people say. So you're definitely welcome. Don't feel shy. You don't have to use a microphone when you get in the voice chat. You can just lurk. You're allowed to be a lurker. You don't have to. You're not going to get kicked out for not talking if you're shy. So I'm sure all of you watching have been on the server or are on the server, but yeah. Slowly coming up on 6,000 members. Anyway, take care, y'all. Much love. And again, I'm going to join the Discord tonight, so come hang out. After school activities, you can call it. After class activities, hanging out in the VC. There's people in there right now, actually. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Anyway, take care, y'all. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.